Well, well, well. Let's clean the lens. Always clean the lens. And we're doing a Meat Mania Turfs Up dinner. Did you fry something inside here?
Oh no. I don't know how to use that thing. So
it's got like a little bit. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So what I'm doing is, let me show you real quick. I'm in my favorite shirt as always. I've got like 4 of these things. She makes fun of me all the time for it, but I love these. I love these shirts. I'm making these big. She's got me hooked on going to the Hispanic. What is it called? Meat market? Fruit and meat market store. And I go there and find shrimp and queso cheese and all this stuff that I've never really had before. So they've got these big shanks. I mean, these things, this is 4 pounds for $7.84, and it's got the marrow in the bones. So the marrow is probably some of the most nutritious part of these because it offers so much nutrition to your body in general, your gut, brain health, collagen building, ligaments, tendons, all that stuff helps build all that up. So that's one of the reasons why I love fresh red meat like this. And this place doesn't pump the meat packages with gas. So if you guys didn't know, some of the meat markets and stuff like that actually pump the packages with some kind of gas before they close the seal. That's how it gets that real bright, vibrant color. And people are like, oh my God, oh my God. No, it's just to disperse the oxygen and moisture that's inside the container. And that gas stays inside there. And it helps prolong the shelf life of, it helps elongate the shelf life of meat on a shelf. It's not harmful to the body or anything like that. But the reason I like going to a lot of these international stores and such is because you can go to these international stores and the stuff is typically fresh. It's right there. And they process the stuff every single day, exactly, carbon monoxide. So what I like to do is I like to go to the stores that we're more familiar with. And I found a queso cheese that doesn't give me a histamine type reaction. My skin doesn't break out. I don't have any issues eating it and stuff like this. What is this stuff called? It's called Lechona queso. It's fresco cremosa, and I don't get any kind of reaction from this queso cheese, and it's super, super, super soft when you cut into it. If you look, most queso cheese is a little bit, it kind of fights you a little bit. This queso cheese, just like butter, just right through. And you can see it's kind of, if I had better light over here, I should say. Let me see here. It's kind of light and fluffy. It's kind of real porous. It's really, really, really soft. It just falls apart. And I'm doing this 1 meal a day stuff right now because I got to take antibiotics because I split that finger open. You remember the picture I put up where I cut it from side all the way through the nail into the other side? Well, I've got it all super glued together right now so it doesn't bleed or anything like that. And unfortunately, that's kind of the only way that I can do my job and still function is by super gluing my finger back together, the nail, so it can try to help all grow at one time. And it doesn't damage it any further. So right now, I've got some shrimp. I've got those big shanks with the marrow in it. I've got some queso cheese. And I've actually got some lamb heart. I've been consuming lamb heart the last few days. And actually, it's helped a lot with my energy levels. And it's helped me sleep. I've been actually sleeping in the bed without getting up. And I don't know if maybe there's something in that lamb heart. Oh, let's not talk about me expressing my opinion of Dr. Kenberry because that could get we could be standing here talking about this for the next 2 hours or whatever. I'm not going to go there. I don't really care for the guy, and I'm not going to get started. So anyway, let's cook dinner. So I'm going to kind of face the camera. I'll do the front facing camera and see how it is. Okay, so we're pretty clear right now. And let's see if we're connected to the Wi-Fi. We are connected to the Wi-Fi, so we're good. Let's get this started. Oh, and I picked up some of their carnita meat with the extra fat because I like to cut up the extra fat chunks and put it in my food for satiety. You know, help control my hunger levels and stuff like that, and it tastes good. So I'm going to turn this skillet over here, the cast iron skillet, on medium heat. I've got some Redmond's real salt. I use Redmond's real salt. I absolutely love it. Just real light. The other side. Here's another nice big chunk. Oh, I wish Vegan Gaines was watching this right now. He'd love it. All right. I'm gonna wash these off real quick before I put them in here. And this is the lamb heart I already cooked up. Don't gag. She don't like the smell of it. Go ahead and turn this heat up a little bit. This is one of those carbonated waters from Aldi's. Pretty good. How much did we pay for a 12 pack? $3? Yeah. Like $3 for it. It doesn't have nothing in it. Just carbonation and flavored water. That's it. Zero everything. No sugars, no nothing. I'm gonna put some of this grass-fed butter in here with the shrimp. Y'all don't forget to thumbs up the videos and share them. That's the sharing and the thumbing up the videos has dropped lately, and that's what helps spread my content. So if you care about the channel or care what's being said, please don't forget to do that. I give a lot back to people, and all the money that I make off this channel, I don't even end up using it. It goes right back into the channel or giving it away to people. So the least I could do is get the support from you guys by sharing and giving that video a thumbs up. I don't like asking that, but honestly, it's the truth. That's the only way the channel grows, is if that stuff happens. I use the grass-fed butter because I don't like using that other butter anymore, just for the simple fact that this is the yellow grass-fed. Now you can see I do have some regular stuff. It's not as yellow as that. This is the more whitish yellow, but it's real butter. It's not fake butter. It's real. It's just, that's the grass-fed butter. You can tell by the color of it, you know, of what's traditional butter and what's this grass-fed butter like this here, where it's nice and yellow. It's not the best, but I'm going to use this garlic and wine seasoning from the melting pot. Yeah, here we have the option for it to be, when did you get this seasoning? Today? This looks really, really, really good. Oh my God, it smells good too. Wow, it smells just like wine and garlic. This is crazy. That's really good. Y'all go to the melting pot for that? You better save that for me. You better go with me first.
Yeah, I know. But that doesn't work.
A loser. And garlic and wine seasoning. You put a little over here. The heck with it. We're having fun tonight. Spice things up a little bit. Oh, it smells so good right now. Oh my God. Smells too good. If you guys are in any of the groups that I run, if you wouldn't mind sharing this to one of the keto groups that I run, that some people have been wanting to see me cook, because I haven't been doing it a lot lately since I hurt myself, and I've been trying to stay off social media because I'm getting myself in trouble. I was banned from Facebook for 24 hours yesterday because somebody really got under my skin, and I just let it rip. Tater Chip, I let him know everything I thought about him under the sun, and then he reported me. And sometimes it gets the best of you like that, and you just got to roll with it. And then just a lot of losers on social media lately have been commenting on my stuff like they ain't got nothing better to do. A little bit more salt. Can never have too much salt until it don't taste right. And then you suck it up and eat it anyway. A little bit more of this garlic and wine seasoning. And then I eat one meal a day, so when I sit down and eat, I make sure I eat, and I don't eat just little, I eat a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Bob, thank you. This is veal part right here. This is the third portion of it that's left over. You want some of the shrimp? No. You want any of this? No. Are you gonna be a damn vegan on me? No. I love when it starts getting just nice and caramelized like that. It's just got a nice little caramely texture to it. You know, if you become a vegan, we're getting divorced, right? Okay. I don't want no vegans. I'm just kidding. I would let you be a vegan, only you though. I couldn't have no vegan friends. So funny. I'm just kidding. I could have vegan friends. I'm just saying that. I just would never make them happy, I guess. I guess you could really call me a vegan. I'm a vegan too, you know that? Why? Because I eat the things that eat vegan food, so that makes me a vegan too. Right? I mean, that's a good analogy. I eat the things that eat vegan food, and they don't eat meat, so I'm eating them, and they're grown off of the vegan food, so I must be vegan too. You know what I should try while we're here? I should try to see how this queso fries. Have you ever tried that? You never tried to see how queso fries? Let's try it out real quick. Just a couple little small pieces. You know what would be good too? If we could take the queso and bread it with pork rinds and egg and then fry it and make little queso balls out of it.
I've been asking for your mozzarella stick for a while.
We'll make mozzarella stick this weekend.
No. I don't believe
We'll
it.
make it this weekend. I just love meat, y'all. I mean, I can't not eat right now because these antibiotics make you sick when you don't, because of me splitting this finger open. These antibiotics, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I probably can't see it. Let me see if I can. Anyway, I split it open from the corner through the nail and then into the other side. And I guess you gotta eat this. You gotta eat when you take these pills because it makes you nauseous. Oh, wait, it does fry. Man, that queso does fry. It's got a nice crispy outside to it. Look at that though. Look at that queso. The queso is starting to crisp up real nice on the outside. You turn this heat down a little bit though. That's a lot of bone right there. You turn this meat off, turn everything off. Off. What, one of the queso ones? Yeah, I'll make you a big one.
How is it?
It's hot. It's really hot.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna chop up some of this carnita meat real quick and then put it in on the pan as well. I got the nice big fatty portions of carnita. I don't really care for goat and sheep cheese too much. I just like the organs of them. Dinner is served. This was $7. What was this, like $6 or $7? The lamb heart was, or the veal heart was like $6, and the queso cheese was like $4. So really, I had dinner for $30, $35 for 4 or 5 nights, and I'm going to be eating, several pounds of good, nutritious food. Now it's not all grass fed. I got what some people would think, but I don't really have to have grass fed all the time. How was that cheese? Good, bad? Reach through the phone. Grab you some of that. Now, what we can do is come over here. I'm gonna eat this food while I talk to you guys. I know that's kind of weird, but some people like that stuff. What's up, Aunt? How are you? I'm trying to get this phone to slide over without breaking it, and I'm about to. Okay, let's go right there. That seems to be good. When you eat one meal a day, so basically I fasted for 5 or 6 days. I don't remember exactly what it was last week. And I lost like 16 or 17 pounds. But since I've been on these antibiotics, when I got hurt, I kind of went up because I wasn't fasting while I was hurt, when I cut my finger and stuff open. And the doctor told me you're going to have to eat some food with these antibiotics. So I went back to one meal a day. I gained like 7 of those 16 pounds back. Well, I went back the last 3 days to one meal a day, and I've lost those 7 pounds back. And I've been eating 2 or 3 pounds of meat every night before I go to bed. But I've been incorporating some new stuff. I've been incorporating more fat, and I've been incorporating that veal heart. And I've been sleeping like a baby. And will tell you that I don't sleep in the bed. I'll get up and I'll come out to the couch and I'll roll over on the couch and I'll try to fall asleep on the couch and I'll toss and turn. I think some of that is I've been missing a lot of nutrients in my body to help me relax. I've been missing some things that I haven't been eating during the day because I was doing all that fasting and stuff last week. And I know fasting is good for you, but also at the same time, it can make some things kind of get out of whack because you just got all this energy all the time. And I've noticed that the more protein I have, and of course I'm incorporating some good fat in my body, but the more, man, you always hooking a brother up with the donations. I really appreciate that in a super chat. You're always doing that, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. When I'm deficient in nutrients, I notice that my whole body's out of whack. I feel bad at work. I'm irritated and stuff like that. I don't sleep right. There's a number of things. But once I started incorporating more heart and stuff like that, and just more good quality protein sources, I've calmed down a lot. I've relaxed quite a bit, and I'm sleeping a lot better. So there's something to that. Just getting good bioavailable nutrients that your body can actually use and break down. I kind of like that. That fried queso cheese. You don't like that? I like it. I like that it's got a little bit of a lightly burnt cheese taste, but then when you bite into it, it's a creamy cow tasting tofu nugget. And this water from Aldi, this water is good. I like this water. At first I thought I was not going to like it, but I actually do. Now, get some of that yummy pork fat. Skin. Mmm. I like that garlic butter wine. That garlic wine seasoning. That stuff is good. And
Yeah.
I like that stuff. It's pretty good. What made you get it?
My coworker brought it in from our Yorkville location.
Now, if you guys don't like what a blue steak looks like, this ain't going to be the video for you. I like my steak rare, raw, or very, very blue. I don't like cooked meat. It's very, 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 very rare. I'm like Hannibal Lecter, trying to figure out where Clarice's brain is.
Okay. These are nice.
Very, very blue, very, very rare. If I ever made it over there, I'd come right there. Let's see here. Let me try to read these comments. My son got sick. My wife got sick. I didn't yet. I feel great. I attribute it to my keto way of life. I feel great. That's amazing. And then you still didn't, after all this time you've been following me, you still haven't told me what I can call you yet. I keep calling you the Dara channel. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Look at that. That's lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. Mmm. Don't be looking at my veal heart. She's about to get grossed out with me eating. I'll show you guys what the inside of veal heart looks like. Just like liver almost. Wonderful. That's veal heart. Mmm. Mmm. I'd probably say this is probably 2.5, 3 pounds of food right here, just in one sitting. That's funny. Bob said, man, Bob said, I had raw buffalo heart. My libido was through the roof the next day. What did I say when I got home? You better get ready because it's going to happen. And since I've been eating that heart, some things have been changing. It's like you when you eat the things that you normally don't think you would like or you're not accustomed to, your body will start thanking you for, especially eating nose to tail. If I can find tendons, ligaments, any kind of stuff that's on the end of meat, I just gnaw it off, chew it off. It's she doesn't like listening to me talk about this stuff. It does so much for you. It rebuilds your gut. It helps with your hormones, your tendon or your joints and stuff like that. Just it's super, super, super nutritious. And guys, I'm still very, very, very out of shape. Not super, super out of shape, but I'm still out of shape. I still got a lot of weight to lose, and I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. I mean, even when I was in the military, strong and fit and everything else, I still hurt because of what kind of training and stuff I was doing. But I feel amazing. I hurt sometimes, but very rarely. Sorry, I'm talking with food in my mouth. Probably shouldn't be doing that, but
I agree.
this is a mukbang. Yeah, I noticed that too, Steph. Women that go through changes in general, they start eating organ meat and they start, experimenting with different types of nutrients that they normally wouldn't. Their body almost forgives them and thanks them for trying to repair and fix years of damage. Definitely does. You hungry? Hmm? You want my meat, girl?
Not that meat.
You don't want that meat, girl. I got a lot of it right here. Hmm. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of countries do things a little bit different than the U.S. does. The other day, somebody was saying they stopped at McDonald's and got some beef patties, and I said, "Well, that's pretty cool. Um, did you put cheese and stuff on them?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, uh, that's not that. That's fine. I mean, it's got a little bit of the American cheese at McDonald's has got some bad stuff in it, but it's not really, like that bad." But over in Canada, I was mistaken because I said, just be careful. Don't eat too much of the cheese because it might upset your stomach a little bit. And they said, why? And I said, because it's got some junk in it sometimes that. And the person said, no, that's not true. Not Canadian McDonald's cheese because we have regulations that stop them from doing that stuff. So if they're selling you cheese, it's American cheese. It's not some junk that you buy at the McDonald's in America. And I was like, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that they have regulations in different countries in different parts of the world, but I didn't know, like Canada being the neighbor to us, that it was that different. I guess the milk there is cleaner, the meat there is cleaner, the fast food products in Canada is cleaner. I didn't know that. Hmm. That's a freezer of meat. It's all ribeyes, chicken, tenderloins, ground beef, pork chops, ribs. Every once in a while, we might get a little sweet tooth or something like that. And Cool Whip is very, very low in sugar and carbs and stuff. So I'm the one that goes overboard with it. I might have a few too many tablespoons of Cool Whip just as a treat, but that's her go-to. I got that from her. I didn't really know about that, and that Cool Whip really tastes that good until I got with her. It's actually pretty good. So there's a gentleman. He's not a gentleman. Excuse my French when I say this, and I'm probably going to lose some viewers on here right now because if y'all got kids, if you have kids around, I would suggest you send them to another room, or if you really want to be here and you can't send them to another room, say something to me right now and I'll watch what I say. But I really don't want to be honest with you. Because we're about to talk about a topic that I wanted to talk about live, and I want your guys' opinion on it, and I want to see if you can help me when you're watching some of these other YouTubers and carnivore videos and stuff like that. So I'm going to give it a few seconds, and then if something slips, I'm sorry, I warned you. Some more of that veal heart. You can see like the ventricle and stuff, and the, the artery that went through there. It's not gross. It's healthy. So I'm just waiting for people. Um, oh. Deer liver is extremely good, and it's extremely lean, and it's got a very specific taste to it. It's very, 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 very desired. Liver pate. I'll take liver from deer, and I'll just take it in a skillet, and I'll just toss it around a few times just to get the outside a little color, and I'll pull it out and I'll chop it up in all these pieces, right? And then I'll fry it just a little bit more and pull it out one more time, throw some grass-fed butter in there, and then usually if you do it right and you get it to room temperature before you do everything, you can almost mash it up and make like a real light pate out of it. And then I'll throw some like chicken gizzard and maybe some heart, chop it up real good, and kind of cook it in the pressure cooker or the crock pot. And then I'll mix it all in there with the deer liver, but the bulk of it is deer liver. And oh my God, it's just amazing. You have to be very, very, very careful because if you eat too much of it in one shot, you'll be on the bathroom for a couple days. You'll be on the toilet, the commode for a couple days, and it's kind of rough. I've had a lot of people from down south message me and say thank you. That that's the kind of stuff we cook down here, and I didn't even think to make it that way. Um, so there's this little punk ass kid. His name is Weston Vaughn. WestonVaughn. I don't know if some of you have watched some of my recent videos, and you could see that my subscriber rate kind of went up just a little bit momentarily, and my views on my channel kind of went up quite a bit that I started talking out about this. But this kid decided that he wanted to figure out how social media works, and he also wanted to try to figure out how he could use the different platforms and programs to scam other people, sub for sub. And I've seen talk about people getting information from people having their information stolen, etc., etc. But that's not the bulk of why this kid has done this. I've actually reached out to a few younger kids, and I'm talking 14, 15, 16 years old. They were leaving messages on different channels, and then I tried to do some investigating to figure out where this is coming from. And I pinpointed it all back to this Weston Vaughn. He goes to everybody's channel. He has bots set up on his channels. He's been doing this on and off for a few years, but recently he's been getting really, really bad with it. He was kicked off the platform for a little while, and now he's back. He's got a few different platforms. One of them, he calls himself Weston Vaughn. One of them, his name is Trap Country. One of them, it's Trap Town. Another one is Trap Town NCS, NSC. Another one is like Zimmer Tracks. And he'll thumb up your video and then he'll say big up, or hey, cool, you want to be friends? You want to be YouTube friends? This guy is spamming people's accounts. He doesn't support your channel. He doesn't do anything for your channel. He's just an extra sub on your channel, and that's all it is. But recently, some things have gotten worse. Children have been falling prey to this more and more and more, and people that know him or are in some kind of ring, or maybe it's inspired by him, I don't know, have decided that they want to go online and tell people they're going to commit suicide, or they're feeling like they're going to hurt themselves or injure themselves purposely for some reason. And what it does is it draws everybody's attention to them, and they slowly push their way into this infiltration group or something like that, or they filter these people in. And there was one girl in particular, she said she wanted to hurt herself. She was thinking about committing suicide. Well, Weston Vaughn, Traptown NSC, decided that they wanted to leave a heart on her channel. And the next day, she doubled her subscribers from 160 to about 350, so more than double. And it made her think, I don't want to commit suicide anymore. I feel like I'm loved by somebody. And then who's back in the comment section while she's giving thanks to none other than Weston Vaughn. They openly admitted on camera that they have some other friends that are thinking about hurting themselves as well. So there's this pattern of Weston Vaughn and these other types of groups that he's involved in that are getting these children to play along and actually filter people in through these little groups and try to get them to sub for sub, sub for sub, sub for sub. And these are typically people that have 30 and 40 and 50 subscribers. They're not doing anything on YouTube, and they're okay with being small. But I've been seeing these people a lot on our channels. People that watch me and I watch you. I've been seeing them a lot. And the sad thing about this is when you play about suicide and hurting yourself, and you consistently do this, and then all of a sudden the next day you're not going to hurt yourself no more, you're so happy, your subs have doubled, and you see this guy commenting on their channel all the time,
and you can put two and two together. It's not good to do this type of stuff because you get other young children, and when another child does eventually think about hurting themselves, you're creating this atmosphere where nobody's going to believe that child. Nobody's going to think something's wrong. People are going to brush that off as this is another stupid Weston Vaughn prank going on or something like that, instead of taking them serious and trying to get them some help. I know most people that want to commit suicide or hurt themselves or something like that don't typically talk about it, but the ones that do talk about it openly, you don't ever know if they're going to actually do something or not. Sometimes they do. Very rarely is that the case, but sometimes they do actually do something about it. Sometimes they do hurt themselves. So you don't know when to take one of these situations serious. So any time you see Trap Town NSC, Trap Country, Trap Town NCS, Weston Vaughn, Zimmer Tracks, any of these other channels commenting on the other YouTube platforms that you watch, please go to the three dots next to their comment, report the user, say something to the creator of the channel and say, look, hey, this is what's been going on. This guy's a spammer. Somebody commented on my channel today, and you guys know me in my fashion. I let it rip, tater chips. So the guy seems like he's, I clicked on his videos in his early 20s or something like that. And he says, it seems like you're just a hater trying to get this guy off the platform and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. Well, I go to his subscriptions and I see that he's actually part of this little ring that Weston Vaughn is running. So I replied back to him, well, if you honestly think that I'm some kind of hater and I need to make money off of YouTube, I make plenty of money in my real life, in my real profession and stuff like that. I don't know what your deal is, but I think you're a little baby back bitch, and you just want to comment on somebody's channel and start some problems. So you don't think that somebody like me can do the research and find out you're part of his little ring as well. So I'm going to call you out on that now, and I'm not going to hide your comment on my channel, and I'm going to let everybody see how ignorant you are and you can embarrass yourself. Especially all the children that are going along with this suicide hoax that you guys are pulling while you're trying to pull more subs on the channel. All of it, I mean, within 20, 30 seconds, the comment was gone, deleted immediately. I think it embarrassed the guy. And, it is what it is. Lately, I've been not the nice so rich, the not so Christian rich that a lot of you are used to dealing with, because I'm getting tired of a lot of stuff. I'm getting tired of dealing with people that are lying to you guys and lying to other people, taking advantage of kids and people that are just gullible with this weight loss stuff and everything else and trying to get healthy. And I've been speaking out a lot about that. I don't fit in any campaign. I don't fit in the carnivore campaign or the keto campaign. I teach that stuff. I talk about that stuff. I tell you exactly how it is, and I'm as real as it gets when it comes to somebody that's telling you the truth. If I messed up, I'm going to tell you I messed up, and I'm going to apologize for it. But there's nothing that I've messed up on. I've made a lot of very, very good friends on social media, but I have a few enemies that have come about in the past, and that's never going to change. There are always going to be enemies in some way, shape, or form, but I'm okay with having enemies. I don't hate my enemies. I'm not out to get them or retaliate or something like that. There's a few people that I don't associate with anymore, and I had some issues with some very nice people. Um, I don't talk to a lot of the really nice female channels and stuff that you guys are associated with that I've seen people leave comments on and recommend I follow and stuff, just for the simple fact that I'm not that type of person. I'm not the, hey guys, oh, let's add 6,000 things to my keto coffee and let's go do the mukbang. We're gonna go spend $400 at Sam's Club and I'm gonna show you everything, and I've never got anything to put out. Same thing over and over again. So I get tired of all that. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. It's not my thing. I want people that are serious. I want people that are straightforward. I want people that are giving me the info. I want people that are just like, look, this is what it is in my life. If you like it, great. If not, move on. That's kind of how it is. And I don't know if some of you guys heard recently or not. Jimmy Moore did pop online. He's been gone for about 6 months now. People are like, oh my God, the keto mechanic, where did Jimmy go? We seen he disappeared and he's been gone for a while. Well, he went on a 6-month sabbatical. He wanted to take a little break. There was a lot of people coming forward attacking him online about his weight and all these other things. And, one of the things that I admire Jimmy for regardless of what people think about Jimmy and his weight not changing too much, Jimmy did the work. Jimmy made a difference. He put out books that people all over the world could pick up, that doctors were buying and stuff like that. Regardless of what we think about him, Jimmy was putting out the info. He was getting with Dr. Eric Westman and Dr. Jason Fung. He was getting with other people, and he was bringing information together. Yes, he was making money off of it. Yes, he had his instructing camps and his keto boot camps and stuff like that, and he went through his little phase back in the day where there were some financial things going on with people that were running these little, basically boot camp groups. What I want to say is, I appreciate you. Thank you for that. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate that. But what I want to say is Jimmy brought it to the forefront of all. Him, Dr. Eric Westman, Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Ron Rosedale, Dr. Stephen Feeney, Dr. Jeff Wallach. These were the guys that have been doing it. These were the guys that have been bringing us this information for so freaking long, man. These were the guys that pioneered this stuff for us. These were the guys that paved the path for all these Dr. Berries and Saladinos and Bakers and all this other stuff today to do what they're doing. And then there were doctors before them that helped pave the path as well. But these are the doctors from my era that made this happen. Dr. Robert Adkins, little did people know, and still know to this day, Dr. Robert Adkins was all the way at the top of the chain. Dr. Robert Adkins was the first one out of that slew of people to really create the movement forward. Unfortunately, he's not with us today. But Dr. Robert Adkins was the original one that started the most movement out of low-carb, protein-based diets and stuff like that to show people you can reset yourself, you can heal. The Atkins diet is a possibility to use and be healthy. So Jimmy popped up recently after his 6-month sabbatical and said, I just want to let you guys know that me and Christine have separated. His wife that everybody loves. She's an NTP, a nutritional therapy practitioner. She recently got a private, more private type license, not full-blown medical, but she's really smart. And she was helping a lot of people as well. I guess they separated recently, and Jimmy is no longer with her. And right now, at this time, he said, I appreciate all your condolences and stuff like that, but please give us the respect that we need. We just need peace right now. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that as well. That's all. Literally, he popped on, he said that, and he was gone again. I haven't seen him in days. I gotta plug this phone in. Thank you again for another excellent donation. I really appreciate it. I appreciate when you guys do that, but just know that you don't have to do that. I've been very blessed to have you guys on my side supporting me lately, and I really appreciate everything. So that's the deal with Jimmy Moore. He's just taking some time to himself right now. I'm sure some of the stuff that he had to deal with in the little 6-month break wasn't completely just people attacking him online. I'm sure some of it had to do with him trying to fix some of his relationship with his wife, which I would expect. I wouldn't want people to know my business in that regard, and I would want to continue to focus on my stuff. I see a lot of people online attacking Jimmy and saying very, very, very negative things. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. I've seen people saying some very, 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 and I love you guys too. I really do. I appreciate you guys. You guys are what make me keep wanting to do this. And Jimmy doesn't deserve the disrespect that he gets from a lot of people. His weight is one thing, but the guy's information that he puts out, you can't match that in gold. He helps people like nobody else does. He may be an author and a writer and stuff like that, but he still gets into the nitty-gritty portion of it. Well, maybe you should check this. Maybe you should look at your LDL-C. Maybe you should look at your CRP levels. Maybe you should go get a CAC score. It's one of those things where you can't, I don't know how to say it without trying to make it sound like you're making excuses for somebody being overweight. Look at me. I've been doing this I've been real hardcore into like the keto carnivore stuff for almost 4 years now. And I've been stuck at 150 pounds for like 8 months. Lose, gain. And I've been doing everything perfect. I don't eat junk. Me and Ange had went out and had like margaritas or something one weekend, but we don't do it for another 2 months or something like that. I mean, I won't lie about any of that stuff. I've never lied about that stuff. I still have a normal life. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people that have this mindset. Once you start a keto or carnivore diet, you have to be stuck on this diet. That has to be the entirety of your life. Every single waking moment of what you do has to be part of keto or carnivore. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? What are you talking about? Who taught you this method? And I'll tell you who did. After I eat this piece of veal heart. There's a lot of these new keto sensations, these YouTube sensations that they're very, very dogmatic. They're very set in how they do things. It's a lot of the doctors that come forward and almost talk in an authoritative figure or in an authoritative manner to tell you and make you think that this is kind of how you got to do it and this is how you got to run things and stuff. And that's not necessarily the case. So this mindset has changed in people's minds, and the number one reason why people have gotten so dogmatic with keto and carnivore is, and I don't blame them, and this is where I give them the complete respect to be the way that they are, and I'll never try to take anything away from them being dogmatic because they've earned that right. Is a lot of our older generation that have been neglected for so many years, that have been lied to for so many years. At least we have a fighting chance to fix the things that are wrong with us, and we have more time to do that. But a lot of our older generation that are starting to get to their 60s and 70s and stuff like that, that have been neglected for so many years, finally have found something with a bunch of people coming forward and saying, we've had it all wrong. We've had it completely wrong. This is how you fix what's wrong with you. And a lot of them see just within a matter of months a lot of their symptoms and stuff that have been lingering and doctors have been prescribing and pushing for so many years have been making them worse. So when they find something like low carb, keto, carnivore, paleo that works for them, things that they didn't have a long time ago, and their health starts to change, they almost become dogmatic in the approach when they start to share their information with other people because they went so long without it. And they're so passionate about healing and what has happened to them that they don't want other people to make those same mistakes. I get that's where a lot of the dogma comes from, but that's not necessarily the case. You have to understand where you have to try to understand. You don't have to completely understand where somebody's come from and where they're at. 10 months ago, I was pretty much homeless, living in my truck. Didn't know where I was going to be. Didn't know if financially I was going to get back on my feet. Now here we are 10 months later. I have 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I have a job where I make $40 an hour. I have 2 vehicles that are completely paid for. And I'm living a good life. I'm finally starting, over the last month or two, I'm finally starting to build a foundation that keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And I can honestly say, every little bit of work that I did to get where I'm at is because I pushed myself to get here. I didn't fall by the wayside. If I needed help, I asked for help. If I wanted just a little bit of a break, I said, hey, look, I'm going to take a break from social media. Please understand this is what's going on in my life. I had a lot of supportive people here from me. Literally, there's a lot of stuff you guys don't know about me. 10 months ago, I was living out of my pickup truck, and basically every couple days would sleep in a motel room. I would sleep wherever I could get some kind of warmth in the shittiest motel I could possibly find, if it's $35 a day or $40 a day. And now here I am with a very lovely woman in a very lovely relationship, living in a very, very nice town in a wonderful apartment building, and my whole life has changed. I mean, literally. It's just when you think that everything's falling apart, be thankful for what you do get. And I've come a long way. And a lot of it is because of this community and people that have been here to support me along the way. So I appreciate that. Let's check out these comments. So keto without a gallbladder is absolutely sustainable. Digestive enzymes, ox bile salts. There's just a few people recently that actually asked me about that, and they've come back within a week or two and said, oh my God, I didn't even know about ox bile salts. I knew nothing about that helping digest food and break down fats and stuff like that because I don't have a gallbladder. Thank you for that. And there's a lot of people that have, literally tried to pay me and say, I would have spent $200 or $300 going to see a nutritionist or a doctor plus to get the information that you've shared with me. And it's all because I learned from other people sharing it or reading or, somebody in a group somewhere that got me riled up enough to go start researching stuff. I thank those people for helping me gather and gain that information, and then me trying to strive to drive and educate myself as best as I possibly can with people like Bart K and Dr. Sean Baker, people like that have helped me gain a lot of knowledge and guide me in the right direction to actually go find this information. So if you guys haven't heard of or seen Bart K, Bartkay, you should check him out. If you have not seen a YouTuber called Go Keto with Casey, you really need to check her out. She's a very, very sweet lady, a very honest lady, and she travels and she talks about keto and she teaches people and stuff like that. And there's some things that you can join her club on YouTube, and you can pay the extra fee every month and get extra questions and stuff answered. There's nothing against that. Or you could just be a regular subscriber like you are here and get the same type of information. She puts it out there as well. So, there's just people that I'm very, very thankful for that have helped me get to where I'm at now, and it's because of people like that have helped me wake up and see how I could help other people. The snake diet guy, I hate Cole Robinson. I don't hate him. I actually kind of really like him, but I hate him because he's an idiot, and he also helps a lot of people, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the meantime. But I would like to see him change his approach a lot so he could reach more people. But I think his method is very extremely effective, and it does heal a lot of people. I just think he's a complete idiot in the process. But I like him, and I don't like him. I hope that makes sense. I was online one night and I see the video pop up about women. And when I seen the video pop up about women, it was Cole talking about how women are hoes and how women try to flaunt themselves in front of men purposely in a very whorish, selfish, or what would you call it, very whorish manner. And it's very sickening to him. And he started going off on this hour-long tangent about how he could have any woman that he wanted, and he doesn't do that kind of stuff, and how women act and stuff like that. It's very disgusting to him, and how it just disappoints him, and how women kind of get down on themselves about how overweight and unhealthy they are. They're a little bit more extreme with it than men are. We look at ourselves and we say, okay, I'm a fat ass. So what? I got to change it. Move on. Where women, they get bent out of shape. They don't look good. They don't feel good. Their emotions get the best of them. And there was a lot of things that he was saying in that hour-long video that was right. But there's a lot of things in that hour-long video that he should have never even said. So there's people that have helped me get to where I'm at and seen how not to act. But then there's also people that have done me wrong in the process of being on YouTube as well. But I don't mention those people. I'm not going to mention those people. The last time I mentioned anybody in that kind of manner was when I did my worst of the keto industry. Or what did I call it? Top 4 worst keto influencers. And I let it rip. Potato chip. I let it rip on that. I let it all out of the bag on that. And I'm surprised the video is still on social media. I'm surprised that people are still watching it and not attacking me like they did a few years ago when I released a video telling the truth about keto influencers and what I know about them that other people don't know about them. My video started to take off like thousands every single day, and I started getting all this hate mail and harassment on Facebook and stuff like, oh, you can't talk about my doctor that way, he saved my life and all this. Yeah, he might have saved your life, but he's also probably affecting a lot of other people's life. And I had to get rid of that video because my emails were blowing up, my Facebook was blowing up, I was getting hate messages and stuff on on YouTube, and I was like, man, I want to be done with all this. I don't care how true what I said was. I just want to be done with all this junk because I can't stop getting harassed. I'm gonna try some of that bone marrow before I get off here, so y'all can see. And then I'll finish my dinner after. I don't want to eat it all in here. I'm the same way. You can do all the studies that you want. I need to see data. If I can see data, and I can see that it was consistently done and it was fair across the board, then we're good. I love the marrow when it's like this. It's just real nice and lightly cooked. Man, that's good. That's good. That seems like that could almost be a delicacy, just eating marrow alone. Is that gross? Mm-hmm. It came out like meat though. You don't cook it all the way and it won't get like super mushy. It'll just stay like a meat-like consistency. And that's good. That's good stuff. The tendon on the bone is good too. Really good.
I'll take your word for it.
You won't eat. You won't even try a little bit.
No.
Will you eat a piece of this bloody meat real quick?
No.
How come?
No.
It'll make your sticker pack out. No? Okay. I love the tendon part of the meat. You know, some people in the beginning, people would tell me, oh, that's gross. You're eating all that meat and that keto stuff and the fat and everything else. When I went to go get the finger cleaned out and kind of sealed up and antibiotics for it, the doctor at the facility that was taking care of me, she said, I have no problem with keto at all. She said, actually, I'd love to follow your channel. And one of the nurses there as well, she said, could I follow your channel? And she said, I've actually done keto. I lost 70 pounds doing keto, and now I kind of just do low carb, and I maintain my weight, and I'm super fine. But she said, I'd love to follow you. You sound like you know a lot about what you're talking about. Because I was talking about insulin sensitivity and kind of metformin and insulin, and how a lot of medical providers keep people sick by giving them insulin and metformin. And I was kind of getting into some of the science and research behind it, and some of the doctor in the office and the main nurse that was up front, they both subscribed to my channel and now follow me because they were like, you know, there's a lot of things we've never even heard people explain the way you explain things. You know, up until recently, I didn't understand how insulin plays more of a factor than just shuttling around sugar. There's a number of things that it plays in like building muscles and telling your signaling from your brain to tell your fat cells to expand, or your cells to expand so they can uptake nutrients. It's not just for shuttling around sugar. It's also a signal to the brain to tell your brain to shut things off because you already have too much nutrient in the cell as it is. So picture insulin resistance is basically a resistance to being able to use insulin because you have too much food available. You have too much that's been going on for too long, and your body just doesn't know how to interpret it anymore. So your sugar levels and stuff go up, your resistance to shuttling food and stuff around, to telling that cell to actually wake up and enlarge so it can take in nutrients and shuttle it to places where it needs to be stored. That it's resistant to that type of stuff. So what do doctors do? They give you drugs like metformin and insulin. You take more insulin on top of the insulin that you already have, and it's kind of like it's amplifying the problem. It's not making things better. So I explain it as if you pictured, a little car parking in the car park. The insulin comes along, which is the car, and it tries to park the nutrients in the cell. Well, the cell's full now. It hasn't completely expanded anymore because it doesn't know about hormone signaling and stuff anymore. It's become resistant to a lot of that. So instead of the insulin coming along and bringing nutrients and say open up, it opens up a little bit. It parks the nutrients inside, which is the little car. Well, now that little car is sitting inside that, and here comes more insulin that's being injected, and here comes more nutrients coming along, and here comes that big giant F-350. We got a big old giant truck, and you've already got a car parked in the cell. So that truck's coming along, and it can't fit inside. So what ends up happening is that insulin that's being injected and the insulin that's already in the body, it's trying to shove things in places where the cells are not expanding to take things that it can't take anymore. You've already got so much energy built up on the outside of your body. You've got ample amounts of fat as energy, and now your cells are full, and there's nothing to tell your brain, stop eating, stop eating, stop eating, and you're still eating, and you're still eating, and you're injecting more insulin. Well, guess what? That F-250, there's a little car parked in that car park already. It can't fit inside it, so it's smashing over and over, smashing until it opens up, and cells are starting to be damaged consistently over and over and over again. Blood sugar goes up, blood pressure goes up, a number of things start happening in the body. The blood pressure gets up to such a high level, and the blood sugars get up to such a high level that neuropathy, your vision and stuff starts going, your limbs and stuff, you stop feeling certain parts of your body, your legs, the skin starts dying, your legs start turning black and blue, and this neuropathy sets in. And it's a chronic thing that happens over and over and over and over again. And it's sad. The doctors don't see what's going on. They don't see that they're prescribing insulin and metformin to people that already have too much of certain things as it is, and then they're overprescribing it so they can help damage them even more, so they keep coming back to the doctor. It's very, 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 very sad. I see it as a learning experience to me, but it's to the effect that other people are medically being affected by it, and that's the sad part. What I try to do with diabetics is I try to fast them longer, a little bit of periods, like, okay, so if you go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and you had your last meal at 8:30, I want you to go to at least 6 or 7 o'clock before you eat again in the morning. And then I want you to go a half hour more the next week. And then I want you to go a half hour more the next week. And eventually, I've taken diabetics that were type 2 diabetics that were dependent on metformin and insulin over the last 4 years. And I've taken them from being desperately in need of these types of medications and treatments to just within months of being off of everything completely, going from a 10, 11 A1C down to a 6, 5.5, 5.4 in just months of doing this, because they were given bad information right from the freaking get-go. They were told the wrong thing to do right from the get-go. And they believed that eating 5 times a day is the way to do it. And they believed that having 250 grams of the American Diabetes Association standard recommendation of carbohydrates was the right thing to do. And it was not. Look at the CEO of the ADA right now, the American Diabetes Association. She has recently, and I posted a video on this, she's recently come online and stated that she does not follow the American Diabetes Association to manage her diabetes anymore. She does not follow that. She eats a low-carb lifestyle to manage her diabetes. She knows that the recommended amounts of carbs and stuff that is being taught by the American Diabetes Association is not good. She stepped away from all that. She's the CEO of an entire organization. It doesn't get much better than that. And she's openly admitting that you have to be on a low-carb diet. You can't follow this 250 grams of carb stuff. It just doesn't work. You can't manage your blood sugar that way. You're going to be dependent on insulin and metformin and things like that. to live your life. So when you have the woman that's the face of the American Diabetes Association that comes forward and says, I manage my diabetes, the first woman ever to be the CEO of the American Diabetes Association, the first person ever to consistently live with a condition like a diabetic condition as the CEO for the company, speak out and say, I manage my condition by not eating the carbs and sugar, is exactly what we needed to hear. Because that shows that things are starting to turn. That shows that being on a vegan diet and these other types of diets and stuff is not necessarily the way that people should engage their health. Being on a vegan diet with all the natural sugars and stuff like that doesn't really do anything for a person with diabetes. In a lot of cases, it makes it worse just because you're having more of this natural sugar, per se, that is not so healthy for you anyway. When you look at the very principle behind, not very principle, when you look at the molecule makeup of sugar, and it's got all its little branches and stuff off of it, and then you look at high fructose corn syrup, looks almost identical, almost identical. And then you look at vitamin C, looks almost identical. And then you look at the natural sugar that's in fructose, vitamin C, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and fructose, natural fructose, all look the same. They all have almost identical molecule makeups. So why do people have vitamin C deficiencies if a vegan diet is so healthy for them? Why do people have vitamin C deficiencies if, let's just say, a low carb diet is so healthy for them? Too much sugar. Your body's in constant competition for what nutrients are being uptaken. So if you have ample amounts of vitamin C, but you have loads of sugar, one of the number one things that diabetics are deficient in, they're trying to control their blood sugar, their insulin levels are all out of whack, and their vitamin C is really, really low. Well, why is that? Because if your transporters can't pick up vitamin C and take them to where they need to, your body doesn't react like it's supposed to. So when your body's not reacting like it's supposed to, there's a number of things that go on. Your immune system drops. The capillaries that are the collagen that supports the capillaries in your body that strengthens the capillaries. The DNA markers and stuff that actually make up what you are, that expand your lifeline. The telomeres and stuff. There's a number of things when you're deficient in vitamin C that get affected by all that. So when you drop your sugar levels super, super, super low and you're taking vitamin C, you're giving your body the freedom to say, hey, I don't have to fight with vitamin C no more. Let's start taking it up. So then you can start using vitamin C. That's why so many people on a carnivore diet eat 1 to 2 servings of liver per week, and they're good. They get all the vitamin C they need from liver. And it doesn't even have to be every day. They could do it once or twice a week, and they've got ample amounts of vitamin C for the entire week. So people say, well, you get scurvy and all this other stuff. Nah, there are some people that have. I'm not going to lie about that. There are some people that have. And, it may have been something that was creeping up on them, and a carnivore diet expedited the process of making it worse. Or they could have gotten on a carnivore diet. I don't know that for sure. But what I do know is I work with thousands of people, and I get to see these people interact. I get to see their daily postings and tasks and stuff like that. And I get to see that they're thriving. They're living very, very good, long lives. And they're happy. They're losing tons of weight, and they're making so much progress in so many different areas and facets of their life. It's unreal. So, right. Some people don't even need to worry about vitamin C. They get enough trace vitamin C from red meat alone to keep them substantially comfortable. Exactly. More and more and more primary care doctors, Stephanie, are starting to become so on board with these types of lifestyles and diets that they're like, look, it doesn't matter if the medical industry supports it or not. If you come to me and you tell me this is what you're doing and you're happy and you're making progress, bless you. You're good to go. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm not even going to tell you to stop. I love these waters. Let's see. Vitamin D is what? Orangutan, or what'd you say? Ori. Mm. Well, a lot of people say go outside, um, go outside in the sun, you'll get enough vitamin D. But there's nowhere in the United States where you can actually be out in the sun long enough to get vitamin D. We live in such a polluted life in general, atmosphere in general. Not polluted so much to our health, like all that Greta Thunberg stuff, but I'm talking about ozone layer stuff. That we don't actually get enough vitamin C anywhere in the United States at all until you start getting way, way, way south, southern Louisiana, Alabama, down closer to the equator and stuff like that. Once you get down towards the equator and stuff, people out there, they're getting very pure, clean vitamin C or vitamin D from the sun. Most of us have to take anywhere between 5 to 10,000 international units of vitamin D every single day and 100 to 300 micrograms of vitamin K2, MK7, MK4, whatever you will, every single day. And a lot of people don't even understand the differences between MK4 and MK7. MK4 and MK7 have different absorption rates. They are a vitamin K2 formula. And if you take MK4 formula versus MK7, I think I may have them backwards, but I'm not sure. MK7 is the one that stays in your system longer and actually builds up, where MK4 is in your system and out longer. So a lot of people will try to find a vitamin D formula to supplement that has ample amounts of vitamin K4 and vitamin K7, or MK4 and MK7, and they'll take it with about 10,000 international units of vitamin D every single day. And they get great results from it. Some people just like MK4, some people just like MK7. There is a difference. I like MK7. I take 10,000 international units of vitamin D every single day, or when I remember I do. And it's brought me from a vitamin D score of about 36, which is terrible. It needs to be like 50 and above for a doctor to be like, okay, that's decent, to up in the 50s. I'm like 56, 57 right now because we don't have a lot of sun here. Not this time of year anyway. And a lot of people, when they don't get enough vitamin D, there's certain hormone reactions and conversions and things that happen inside the body that rely on vitamin D. And some people say, well, I can't take vitamin K because I'm on blood thinners. Well, vitamin K2 doesn't simply affect the blood like vitamin K1 does. So you're not really at so much risk with vitamin K2, but you need to be careful because I don't know if it's like warfarin or, well, I don't know what it is. I forget. It starts with a W. It's like warfarin or Wellbutrin, or I don't know what they are. I forget the names of them now. But there's a certain medication that does not work well with vitamin K2, and it can make things actually worse. So you always, when you supplement, want to make sure that you're not taking the wrong one. I have low body fat, so less to metabolize. Fat soluble vitamins, from what I understand, might not be correct. Yeah, I mean, you're right. If you have low body fat and you don't have as much to help metabolize vitamin A, D, E, and K, which that's the acronym for it, ADEC, then it might be a little bit more difficult for you. But as long as you're getting ample amounts of fat in your diet, you're fine. You don't have to have enough body fat to. I'm sure it helps minutely, but as long as you're eating good quality sources of fat in your food in general, low body fat, you're still going to digest things and move things out perfectly fine. I've had people in the 20s, and I've had to recommend them take 10 to 15,000 international units of vitamin D per day, and some people are like, you're not a doctor, how are you going to recommend people do that? I had somebody challenge me one time. The girl was here locally. She follows me on the channel. She never says anything, but she watches my videos. She'll send me a message every once in a while saying, thank you, I really learned a lot from you. But true story, she's from the town that they have the Now supplement products, Bloomingdale, Illinois. She's a powerlifter. She started gaining a little bit of weight. Her hormones got out of control. And I said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do a 5 to 1 to 1 reset. I want you to do 5 days straight clean keto. As a woman, your hormones are starting to change. You're hitting that 42, 43, 44. Everything's starting to shift a completely different way. And then by the time you're 50, it's all completely either changed or you're still dealing with a big portion of menopause and stuff like that and everything else, depending on when you go through it. I said, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to do 5 days clean keto. No stevias, no treats, no bulletproof coffees, no nothing. I'm talking straight, clean, keto, the cleanest that you can possibly get it. On day 6, I want you to fast. On day 7, you can have up to 150 grams of carbohydrates. And I was trying this reset, hormone keto reset diet, where it was allowing some fats back in, or some carbs back in a higher amount. And then Monday, or going back to day 1 again, right back into clean keto. So you get in, and you kind of get pulled out just a hair, and then back in, and then you kind of get pulled back out. So her body actually learned to like this pattern. And she said, Rich, how much omega-3 should I take, and how much vitamin D, vitamin K2? I said, I want you to take 200 micrograms of vitamin K2 per day, and I'd like to even see something more towards 400 if you can get it, and then about 10,000 to 15,000 international units of vitamin D per day. And she said, man, that just seems a lot. That just seems like I'm like something's going on, and I can't do that, and that's going to make me sick. And I said, no, it's not. You're going to be okay. And she said, you feel comfortable telling me this? And you're not a doctor? I said, absolutely. There's a lot of things that I know a little bit more about in specific categories because I'm not just a YouTuber. I work with people on Facebook that message me consistently throughout the day. Some people send me 30, 40 messages a day. One person keeping me up to date with what's going on in their life. And every once in a while, out of those 30 or 40, things that they send me, I might answer 5, 6, 7 questions just to go back and forth to make sure people are on track. And I do that for them. I take my time to do that for them, risking the fact that sometimes I could probably get yelled at work. It takes away from mine and Angie's time sometimes. She doesn't want me on here doing this all the time, but I do it because I care about them. And she challenged me. She went back to her doctor and she said, he was saying that, he recommends I take, 2,000-3,000 milligrams of omega-3 per day, and like cod liver oil form or something like that. Some omegas, krill oil, just something really, really clean, fast absorbing. And then he was also recommending that I take 10 to 15,000 international units of vitamin D, as well as 200 to 400 micrograms of vitamin K2. And her doctor said, actually, your labs are low. I actually like his recommendation. I think it would be very safe for you to do that, and you would be completely fine. And she came back to me and she apologized. She said, I really am sorry for making your life hell the last week with me asking you so many questions and doubting you. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that to you. I should have listened to you. And I said, no, you did what you had to do to make yourself feel very comfortable. And that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Is if you're okay here and your body's getting to where it needs to be, then that's perfectly fine. I would expect you to do that. You did make things rough the last week, but I expected it. There's nothing that I can do about it. I mean, if you really care about people, you don't give up on them. There's a specific time that you give up on people when they make your life too difficult, but I'm a fighter, and I fought and fought and fought. And I mean, I would get in like little small spats with her about, well, why are you telling me this if this person says this? And I'm like, you need to back up a second. Why do you keep listening to everybody else? Find one person and listen to that person. If you get good information from them, chalk it up. Take it, put it somewhere in your memory bank. Don't hold on to it as Bible or golden. And find other people. Find another person, learn something from them. Find another person, learn something from them. Find somebody else and learn something from them. And you keep all these little bits and pieces of information. You take what you need and you throw everything else away. You build up your own education bank of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And that's how you change your life. So, still to this day, years later, she's following me and very, very healthy. Hormones are great. She's learned how to fix and engage everything. Everything's not what I told her, but I respect that. She's changed some things up in her life, but that's just simply because she learned to do things a little bit different. She learned to look at things different and question things that are being told to her by her medical providers. Well, we are at the end of the segment tonight. I've been on here for an hour and a half chatting, and I appreciate you so much, and thank you. Thank you for that. What Do you guys have any questions at all? Is there anything you'd like me to think about over the next week? You'd like for me to change up? Is there anything that you want me to cover? Um, I'd be willing to do that. Any questions that you have? If you're looking for a support group, we have Carnivore Keto Nation Official. Carnivore Keto Nation Official. That's our group where we post things almost every single day and we talk and we kind of go back and forth. If you're not into Facebook, then we're okay being right here. I'm going to get me another one of them waters. Oh yeah, I love the people that follow me. When they get on here and they start talking and stuff like that, nobody's disrespectful. Nobody's trying to be bullies. That's what I like about this channel. Everybody just, we jive. Every once in a while you'll get somebody on here from some really crazy carnivore group or some channel trying to start stuff, or just a passerby, or that wants to click on somebody's live and say some perverted stuff. But you can easily get rid of those people. That's why I got all these wonderful moderators on here now. If you look at some of the people that are commenting, you see that some of them have a picture of a wrench next to their name. There are people that I have put in place now that I never had before that help me keep track of what's going on in the live session. Bob, I am going to make you a moderator because you're always here whenever I do these. So Bob is now a moderator of this channel, and you are now a moderator too, Dara. I should just make everybody moderators here. Just make everybody now. Just make them all moderators. Because you guys are always here helping me out. And eventually, we're going to be able to get on here and there's going to be 300 or 400 people at one time. That'll be the day, huh? All right, everybody's a moderator now. We got all the moderators. Richard, hopefully you stay around for a moderator. Let's make them all moderators. How about it? Everybody's a moderator. Woo, 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 woo. Everybody's moderators. So, people are going to be like, what'd you do, bribe? People are going to be like, what'd you do, bribe people to come to your channel, and you make them all moderators so they can just kick everybody off and boot everybody? So, what's up? Uh-oh. Thin Chips is here. Yo-yo. Man, I love that right there. I'm not so much worried with people getting upset with me as long as they're here for me telling the truth. Because what goes around comes around. And the people that I make moderators typically are the people that I trust, or I feel some kind of special way about them. So I trust you guys. And I'm not going to pull the trigger on any more moderators for a while because you guys are here all the time. You guys are the ones that are always watching me and commenting and stuff like that. And that's really all I need right now. I need the people that are here that support me all the time to be the ones that, yeah, but I've seen you here, Rich. I've seen you here many times. Well, I've seen your comments, I should say. I don't know about necessarily here when I do lives. But I trust you guys, and it's easy to take somebody off being a moderator. I don't even really know what a moderator can do, so I thought mainly what a moderator does is they kind of just keep everything tight during live sessions and stuff like that. Oh man, that man dip. Angie asked me if I wanted her to make it last night. I said no because I know what would have happened. You can't stop drinking Diet Coke. Well, maybe you should try, have you tried Zevia? And Zevia is pretty good. If you get that, go to like Whole Foods or the health food store and you try Zevia, it kind of tastes like diet soda, except it's got, stevia sweetened. You can use that as a stepping stone to step away from Diet Coke. and it's, you know, much healthier. And let me be straight with you. Yeah, I've had a lot of people. So whenever, basically, what I want you guys to do is when you see somebody being disrespectful, I trust you to remove the comments. If you see me getting out of hand and I'm going at somebody and we're going back and forth, and you think that that could be abusive to the channel, go ahead and do something about it. Go ahead and put me in check, put me in my place, and say, okay, hey, let's get rid of this because we don't need to be doing this. Because sometimes, you know, I'm sometimes I become a big kid sometimes too, and somebody may challenge me, and I'm the big bear, and I don't want little bear trying to be bigger than the big bear, and you know, sometimes people leave really hateful, nasty messages, and I respond to them in a way that I should not. So that's where some of you guys could probably step in and say, no, we're gonna nip this in the bud now. It's, don't want to hurt the channel, and let's be done with that and move on from there. Whatever you feel like you need to do. I mean, I would trust each one of you to go through that. If somebody's being disrespectful, maybe time out 5 minutes. Say, hey, relax. You got a 5 minute timeout. The next time I'm going to remove you from the channel. So please be respectful. Everybody gets a voice here. The vegans get a voice here. The fruitarians get a voice here. The transsexuals, the gays, the straight people, the goth, everybody gets a voice here. I don't want to discriminate or not allow anybody to speak here, especially if they're looking for information or maybe a nice, honest debate. Maybe Vegan Gains can pop up one night, and me and you can if you email me. My last name is Passo. P as in Paul, O as in Oscar, I as in India, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, O as in Oscar. So it's POISSO, Richard, RICHARD .rp@gmail.com. So PassoRichard.rp@gmail.com. You guys don't even have to do anything if you don't want to. I think the wrench just looks cool next to everybody's name. It's like my little army. It's the I thought about changing my name again. I don't know what you guys think. I'm starting to get really tired of the keto mechanic name. Even though I follow the keto diet, sometimes I think to myself, I don't even want to be tailored to a keto name. Like, I really respect keto and I respect carnivore, but I thought about changing the name on my channel again just because I don't want people to think that I'm part of any kind of cult. And it's not even really what people think. It's more along the lines of, I'm just really tired of being associated with this group of dogmatic people and stuff like that, and it's an image that I really don't want. I thought about changing it to, I don't know, something stupid. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about it. If you haven't checked it out again, it's that Belly By passion fruit from Aldi. It's carbonated water with passion fruit flavoring, and it literally has nothing in it. It's carbonated water and natural flavor. That's it. No sugar, no artificial sweeteners, none of that stuff. I want this year, towards the middle or end of the year, I want to put on Windy City Keto Carnivore. It's going to cost me about, I priced out the room, it's said for about 600 people, and you get a PA, you get a stage and stuff like that. It's like a big giant fancy room at, and what else is it? You get, I don't know if you get food or not. You might have to pay extra for food, but I want to start, there's no carnivore event. There's no keto event in the Chicagoland area. And you know, keto, there's a huge market for it here now because there's a lot of people doing it here. And it's not abnormal to see somebody here walk around and say, "Oh, I'm on the keto diet. I'm sorry, I don't want no bread or none of that. I'm just gonna eat my greens and my fat and my protein." And it's not abnormal to see that anymore. It's becoming more and more common. So I want to create my own event here, and I want to talk to people how it's changing my life. A lot of people think that I do keto to lose weight and all this other stuff. That's not even why I do keto. I mean, it helps, but I do keto because of the inflammation in my body. I've had multiple surgeries on my knees from getting hurt in Iraq in the army, and I was on Zoloft and sertraline and all this other stuff for my night terrors, my PTSD flare-ups and stuff like that, my anxiety and I would have shortness of breath and a really really arrhythmic heart back before I started keto, and because of all the trauma that I've been through in my life in the military and being abused as a child and stuff like that, all that stuff compounded and just snowballed and made things worse. So when I got out of the military, it was a lot worse, and keto really saved my life. And carnivore really did all the things that keto didn't do, and helped me heal my gut, because I was blood in my stool, throwing up blood, out on the floor, going to the hospital. There was a lot of things that was going on with me. Um, so a lot of people are under this impression that being on a keto diet is for weight loss, and then they look at people and they're like, well, how come you haven't been losing weight like everybody else has? There are some people that get lucky. There are some people that get lucky and respond to keto very, very, very well right up front, and they heal very fast. But there are some people that are very, very, very slow healers, and it takes them time to lose weight. And it's just a slow, slow, slow process. So I'm very thankful for what I've got so far. I'm very thankful that I'm not on PTSD medication. I'm very thankful that I don't have the problems that I used to have anymore. Um, I just want to live my life and be very, very good at doing it. Did strict carnivore 6 months. Now I just do now I do carnivish with avocados, olives, coconut. I find carnivore people on Discord obnoxious. You know what? I agree with you. I find carnivore people, and Steph, you have come a long, long, long way, and that's awesome. I find carnivore people and keto people on many different platforms really, really rough, really crazy acting. Um, and a lot of you know that I don't really care for Frank Tufano all that much, just because he's an over glamorous prima donna with the whole carnivore stuff. But Frank looks good. He doesn't act good. He doesn't seem like he's got the grasp of carnivore enough, because he's always complaining about hurting or his health or something like that. So I like that. Nutrient rich. I was thinking of something really silly, like I don't know. I have to think about it. My skin, though, over the last few days of doing the heart, I was getting the little pimples to pop up along my cheekbone and stuff like that. But since I started adding in heart and liver and stuff like that, it seems like my skin really nice and oily, and the little red bumps that were popping up gone. I know they say that's one of the indications of lack of sleep as well. Your body can respond in a manner like that, and just everything super. I need to shave my head again. Since I'm like 24, 25 years old, I haven't been able to grow any hair right here. It grows all the way up to here, and then it stops. It's like you'll never find blum 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 a hairline like mine. And carnivore and keto has kind of made some of it come back, but it's not to the point. It'll never come back completely. It's just not going to happen. So at least I have hair that I can keep growing. But my skin is like, I really like the way everything's turned out. I used to have like wrinkles all over the place, and it was starting to kind of look like all kind of smashed in. But since I started carnivore, it's like my skin is just all completely changed. No pimples ever anymore. Um, Rich, I had the largest head in my battalion. When I had to get a ACU hat, um, I would have, what is that, 7 5/8, or almost right at an 8-inch brim, because my head was so wide. There was nobody else that had a head as big as mine in the military. I was the only one that wore that size hat, so they had to order special hats for me. I feel bad for my mama, because that baby's head coming out probably did a number on her. I don't know. Um, I was a big baby. Um, I was, what was I? 10 pounds, 4 ounces or something like that. 10 pounds, 2 ounces, 10 pounds, 4 ounces. I wasn't, like an 8-pound baby or a 7-pound baby. I was 10 pounds. Um, but, a lot of the vegans, they ask me, um, a lot of vegans ask me all the time, can you grow hair? Yeah, I can grow hair, but I prefer not to grow hair, just because I don't grow enough hair to call it hair. I mean, it stops here. That's a 5 head, not a 4 head. The 4 head starts here. The 5 head starts here. And I've got a 5 head. My 5 head starts here. So I just try to keep it shaved for the most part, and just fit in with the group, but not fit in with the group. Hashtag bald man bad with Bart K and Tristan and Bobby. But Bobby has started to get a little out there, so I don't talk to Bobby so much anymore. Uh, you know where that came from, Bob? That came from that movie. What is it called? Lottery Ticket? Am I even saying it right? Lottery Ticket, where they were like, I bet when you go to sleep at night, you don't dream, you have movies. That forehead's so big. Um, the movie was called Lottery Ticket. And he said, that's what he said, you don't have, I bet when you went to the army, you didn't have to salute like this. You saluted like this. Yes, sir. So that movie was funny, Lottery Ticket. It's an old movie. I don't know if you all ever seen that Lottery Ticket movie, but you should see it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think it's bedtime, guys. Unless you got anything you want to talk about. Yeah, I'm digging the skin. Skin is nice. Yep, she's doing the keto stuff too. She's doing a little different than me. She's not doing all the meat and stuff like that, but she's doing all right. She's doing pretty good. Okay, guys, y'all have a blessed, blessed, blessed night. And as I used to say, which I'm going to start saying again, remember who lives your life. You're the only one that can live your life. It's your life. You got to live it, and not anybody else. So do what works for you, and figure out what works for you, and keep doing it, and don't let nobody affect it. Remember, it's your life. You got to live it, not anybody else. Y'all be blessed, and have a good night. Have a great weekend. Good night.